What's up, guys? This is Toasty Podcast. We're here at the studio.
Toasty Studios?
Toasty Creations, Studios.
Is that what we call it? What do we call this place? Toasty Studios? Toasty Creation Studios?
The Toasty Studio, just straight up
the Toasty Studio. I like that. It's simple.
Toasty Studio, and I'm building it currently. I don't know if you've seen my Instagram stories. If you haven't, you got to follow toasty.podcast, and you can see all of our sweet stuff we post.
All the progress.
Learn
how to build a shack yourself. It'll be pretty cool.
You know, today I felt like doing a podcast, and I think Matt had this weird thing going on. We had a little connection, a little bro connection. He said, dude, check this article out. And all of a sudden I was like,
it's nuts.
He's like, we need to do a podcast about it. And I was like, okay, what about tonight, dude? Tonight, let's hit it. Okay, yeah.
I was like, there's no time to waste. This must be done.
So we're hitting it now, and we are excited. I'm excited. So, here we are. Let's get it. So this article is actually having to do with the election, of course, because that's what everyone's about right now. And,
yeah.
It's pretty juicy, man. And, of course, we have a coworker that's like a conspiracy theorist. I want to have him on the show at some point. His name's Steve. But he was like, he called Matt, and he's off work today.
Called me like the middle of the day, like randomly.
Dude, I got some juice. And so there you go, man. He gave him the freaking juice. This is hella dusty. Hold on, let me get a rag real quick. I'll let Matt take it over.
Okay, so there's this article, and then there's some juice from Pennsylvania. So a Pennsylvania state senator, a data scientist named Gregory Stenstrom. That's Stenstrom. Stenstrom. He is a state senator, like I said, from Pennsylvania. He is a Republican who's was a poll watcher, and he saw some things go down firsthand. So a little bit of background on this individual. He is the CEO of Marquee Star Data Sciences Company. He is a U.S. Navy vet of foreign wars, graduate of the Naval Academy, and a commanding officer in the Navy. Was a commanding officer in the Navy. He's retired. So he was in Chester, Pennsylvania, and Delaware County, and that's the Chester's got a population of about 40,000, so it's not a very big town, kind of a medium to small size town. He is also a forensic computer scientist and security expert. So this guy knows cybersecurity, basically. He knows that's what his company does, is data analytics for companies, and a little bit of he knows this stuff about cybersecurity. And here's a few things he observed when he was poll watching in Delaware County, which is where I believe Philadelphia is. Let me double check, because it was
just keep Chrome open, brother. Keep it open, and then boom. And if you want to, we don't always have to have that on record, right? So even if it's open, it's not on the recording. They're gonna see us instead. So it just makes it easier. So you can just bam, you're right in Google, dude. You're armed and ready, brother, for Google, the Googs. So yeah, get that sweet Google nectar.
Yeah. Okay. It is Pennsylvania. I don't know why I was freaking out there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Delaware County, huh? Pennsylvania, huh?
Delaware County, and that's I want to say it's Philadelphia. Tell me it's Philadelphia.
Shoot,
this
boy.
This is the guy here. He gave testimony during that Pennsylvania hearing. The legislature of Pennsylvania gave a hearing.
Train's coming.
Oh goodness! And he, in Gettysburg.
Go, wait, scroll back. Oh, wait, no, look at this. Hold on, you can go back down. This does the same thing.
Yeah.
Scientists from Pennsylvania alleged this week that 47 U.S.
I'm gonna get to that.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Sorry, dude. That was steak sauce, brother.
This is the crazy. So I have all these notes here that I wrote down today. He went to 7 different polls where people received irregular ballots.
Okay.
He went, so this is just kind of a summary of his testimony. He went and said, these are kind of irregular. There's not a very large instance of them, but I just want to make you aware. He was talking to the sheriff, deputy sheriff. Deputy sheriff was like, okay, well, I'll note it. That's pretty interesting. And then it just got weirder from there. He went to a remote counting center, why do they not count them right then and there?
They transport them.
They take them somewhere else.
Yeah, I've heard that. Transport the quote-unquote SD cards or whatever.
He was told that 10 to 20 GOP poll watchers were down there, which turned out to be completely false. There was no poll watchers down there. It took him... He gets there at 6 p.m., and he doesn't get in the building until 11 p.m. It took him 5 hours to let him in.
Him? The guy?
Yes.
Well, how do you... Okay, well, what I want to know, though, is how do you gain access to something like that?
He's a poll watcher.
He is a poll watcher?
Yes. He's licensed to watch the poll, and he's the state senator. And why should that be secret at all to begin with?
So they kept him... Did they even... They were already started?
Yeah.
They had already started.
They had been counting all. They've been counting
hours?
all day. He gets there at 6 p.m. They don't let him in until 11 p.m. And he's like, okay, well, that's really, really bizarre to begin with.
Really? Has he done poll watching before? That's what I want to know.
Right here.
The history of him poll watching. Because I know poll watchers have said that this year. They're like, oh, my gosh, it took forever to get in. I couldn't get in. Someone wouldn't even be let in. But, like, have they done it before? Because I want to see what I want to do.
There should be no hesitation to let a poll watcher watch the polls.
Sure, there shouldn't be. But if we had 40-plus years of previous elections and they've all been held like that and it's just that's how it works?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think
I've
so?
never heard of a poll watcher not being able to go in and just look at what's going on. Okay.
Well, shoot, bro.
Going down 100 to 120,000 votes were not possible to be validated in Delaware County alone. Meaning they were counted without poll watchers around, without checking signatures.
Wow.
100 to 120,000 votes. This is a quote. Election process that was forensically destructive. And this guy's this guy's a forensic data analyst. That's what he does for a living. He owns his own company, and is a Navy vet and a state senator from Pennsylvania. The recount is impossible due to this.
Implausible?
Impossible.
Impossible?
You can't do because...
Holy crap.
Yeah, so they'd have to do a complete audit and check every signature in
supposedly that's what they were doing, right?
No. Well, supposedly that's what they were doing to begin with, but that's not possible. He also said the chain of custody was broken in all cases, every case. And drop-off and mail-in ballots on election day, USB V cards with flash drives. They were...
it all just sounds too sloppy.
It's extremely sloppy.
How do you...
He personally observed USB V cards being uploaded to voting machines 24 times. Which is highly irregular. 1 or 2 times is normal, maybe. 24 times. He told the deputy sheriff and objected. This person is not permitted. He basically was not given any credibility. He was not. They just didn't look into it at all. The deputy sheriff in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but he's probably like, oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with this crap.
Probably.
It's a deputy sheriff.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even know anything about it. He's probably just like, I don't care. I mean, like, what kind of deputy sheriff wants to deal with elections like that?
Those 24 times he saw the USB V cards uploaded into voting machines, he has pictures of that submitted into his sworn affidavit under oath.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy
so there is photographic evidence of that. And they were brought in little Ziploc baggies. Like just Ziploc bags full of electric votes, basically. Canada does 100% paper ballots.
Canada does that?
Canada does.
Where are we at? Canada does that? Canada's freaking...
They've got it.
It's still, I mean, like, because
So what he witnessed in this affidavit 24 times, pictures included in his affidavit, also corroborated by Democrats.
Well, you can still... Hold on, about the paper ballot thing.
Yes.
We'll get to the corroborated by Democrats. You can still kind of corrupt that. There's a way to do it. I mean, you give them the wrong paper, like they did in Florida, apparently.
The hanging chads?
Yeah. You give them the wrong cardstock, and it ruins it, and it doesn't work. And so, but I think that was still only for mail-in ballots. But that's still, I'm saying, is if Canada does mail any type of mail-in ballot paper,
which I'm sure they do because there's a lot of remote areas.
If there's only paper, come on, that's probably why they only do paper. Because so many places are remote, they don't have internet.
That's why, yeah.
So it was corroborated by Democrats.
Yep, and as of today, this is what
how do you know?
What
do you mean How do you know?
Because there's another affidavit from a Democrat that says this is what happened. They only disagree on about.
Who is this guy writing this article, dude? That's crazy, man. It's amazing.
This has nothing to do with the
I know
article
that
I'm
doesn't.
about to get to you.
That's not even part of the article.
Not even part of it. This is totally separate.
This was coming out of the article.
No, the article is literally just a political science.
Guys, we're spitting facts. This is crazy.
It's an analysis of all of the data, and they put it into these really clear, easy to understand graphs. And as a poli-sci major, this is what I did. This is what I learned. Like, this is poli-sci 101. It's really, really simple for poli-sci people to understand. As of today, and this is 11/25/20. Today is 11/28/20, so it's a few days ago, but nothing has been found to my knowledge. 47 USB-V cards are missing, completely gone.
How do you know they're gone?
Because they have to have a chain of custody. They have to be somewhere.
Oh, shoot. So you have to record them every time. You have to basically book your SD cards or whatever.
Absolutely.
Or USBs. So they're just missing, dude? And that's for one county?
This is one county.
This is one county in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, where Philadelphia is.
Guys, if you don't know, this is insane.
Yeah.
What is the population of that county, I wonder?
I'm not sure.
Haven't even heard of that county.
Delaware County?
Delaware County?
Yeah,
I have heard of that county.
It's the most, probably the most corrupt county in Pennsylvania.
How do you Oh, for this election?
Philadelphia.
Oh,
well, Philadelphia is corrupt head to toe.
Well, Philadelphia is... Okay, yeah, keep going. Keep
okay,
keep
so
doing it, man.
He was allowed, eventually, in a back office and saw 70,000 unopened mail-in ballots in boxes of 500 neatly stacked. This was also corroborated with a Democratic forensic pathologist.
I just don't understand how all of a sudden he was let to this back office.
This guy is persistent. This guy was like, you need to let me in. If you don't let me in, I'm going to call the sheriff, and we're going to make a huge fuss about this. And they were like, okay, well, we got to let this guy in. I'm sure they were texting behind their back saying, get rid of everything you possibly can, and don't let this guy see what's going on. You know, rip the labels off the boxes, whatever you got to do. Mail-in ballots had already been counted when he saw this. 70,000 unopened, uncounted mail-in ballots. When all of the mail-in ballots, all 100 to 120,000, had been counted already.
So they told everyone that they'd already been counted.
Yes.
Dude, this is intense, man.
The 60 to 70,000 mail-in ballots are currently missing. This was corroborated by a Democratic poll watcher as well. The only part they disagree on was that the Democrat said that there was about 60,000 votes, and he says there's about 70,000 votes. That's the only part they disagree on.
And they're missing now?
Yeah.
He saw him with his own eyes. Is there pictures of that or not?
I don't
It's interesting.
think so.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, I wish
that's
you did. Just
the evidence that would get it.
Yeah, the universe, quote unquote, of votes, so basically all of the votes, was supposed to be about 126,000, and was closer to 200,000 when they were actually counted. Of course, we've heard all these stories in all these different states of turnout being way higher than the number of registered voters. In Michigan, we have 150, 200, 300% of turnout when there's compared to voter registration, which is impossible. You can't have more votes than you have registered voters. That doesn't make any sense. And that's happening in multiple states.
And see, what I don't understand is that why isn't that proof enough? That's something that's clearly marked, isn't it? I mean, how can that not be obvious?
It is. I mean, it is.
You know what I mean?
But judges,
it's not even affidavits. It's not random people coming out and saying they saw something. It's literally just, well, we have this number of registered voters and we have this number of votes.
But all these Democratic judges,
pretty obvious.
They're all Democratic judges. They have a lot of control over their states, and they say, okay, well, if I play ball with this, then maybe Biden will appoint me to a higher court.
Oh, I know how that works. Have you ever seen House of Cards?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course.
And it's like real. I believe it.
Bill Clinton said that's 99% accurate.
The show?
Yeah.
Bill Clinton said that?
Yeah. I'm sure he was like a little bit because he's out of office. He can say whatever he wants. I mean, Hillary's not going to run again. He's like, yeah, that's pretty.
I did not know he said that.
That's pretty
dude.
accurate show right there.
What the heck, man?
I like that Frank fella. Me and him both like barbecue. Right. It's pretty good.
Look, all I'm saying, that's crazy, man.
I'm not even finished yet. This it doesn't get a whole lot crazier than that. Law enforcement agencies refuse to inspect the machines completely. Okay. No oversight whatsoever when it comes to law enforcement.
Holy crap, dude.
And virtually all chain of custody receipts, guess what, are missing. So there's no chain of custody receipts for votes going from the voting machine to the USB card to the counting facility.
So he can see that, though? I mean, normally?
Yes, absolutely.
He normally has the power to see that kind of stuff?
100%.
Interesting.
And he, at the end, at the closing, he said, you cannot certify Delaware County. You just can't. You can't swear that they're all legit votes.
Because of the facts he's laid out?
Yes.
Literally facts of math, not even just like...
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, man.
That's this guy in Pennsylvania.
That happened on Wednesday.
Yes. And midnight last night, so like I said, it's 11/28/20 date. And midnight last night, a judge in Pennsylvania ruled that so in Pennsylvania right now, as the law sits, the Secretary of State gets to choose the electors for the Electoral College of Pennsylvania. It's 20. Like the Secretary of State goes, all right, I want these 20 people to vote for president for our state.
Yeah.
And that's how presidents are elected. A judge in Pennsylvania just ruled midnight last night, hey, guess what? That violates the state constitution. It goes back to the legislature. Legislature is heavily controlled by Republicans. So there's actually a significant chance. This has nothing to do with the Trump campaign. This was brought up by different lawyers. So
what the heck? Different
lawyers?
This
is what Steve called me about.
Different lawyers, not even on his team?
Not even on his team.
Lawyers that are doing it.
Just doing the Lord's work. Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
So,
hey, guys, I apologize for the sound. It's raining outside, and we're in a metal building. Keep going.
Get over it. No, I'm just kidding. But so this judge in Pennsylvania ruled that, guess what? It goes back to the legislature. The legislature is heavily controlled by Republicans. Sure. So they should, as Pennsylvania Constitution says, that they should pick the electors, and this guy would most likely be an elector, and I think he was anyway. And good chance that that guy's going to be voting for Trump.
Holy crap, dude.
And that's how Pennsylvania's might turn. Now,
this is insane, man.
Rudy Giuliani and Trump's legal team are basically saying that look, there's 670,000 votes that were counted unconstitutionally by Pennsylvania's constitution. So they should be thrown out.
What if, is there anything in our constitution that states we have to do a re-vote?
Mm-mm.
Never? Mm-mm. You never do that? You just go to the point where you do one vote per state for electoral college and that's it? That's the end?
That's what I'm at. If it goes down to the House. If it's a contested election, yes, it goes down to the House.
I'm talking about the end of the line. All things, have been thrown out because it's all illegitimate at some point. Mm-hmm. What if that happened?
Yeah, if they can't...
670,000 votes were messed up.
In Pennsylvania alone, yeah.
So let's just pretend it's 1.5 million or something. Even, I don't know, would they count? Would they care because there's 330 million people in America? Or would that actually illegitimize the whole freaking election?
It would illegitimize it for that state, and if that state falls, and if that precedent is set for that state of the judge saying that it has to go up to the Pennsylvania legislature to decide the electors of the state rather than the Secretary of State, rather than one person, then that's going to set precedents for other states, and other states are going to start trying to do that.
Oh, then, so yeah, there's
like
no
Georgia.
way that the election doesn't just get thrown out ever.
No.
So we're going to, if just we go all the way to the end of it, and nothing is just overturned, then we have a Supreme Court that says, or the House that says, one vote per state.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And I think there's 33 Republican states or 37 Republican states.
Yeah, if that were to happen, sure, Trump would win. I don't
think it's going to go to the House.
I don't think it will. I'm just getting to the
most
point
likely,
what if,
Most likely it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will probably rule in Trump's favor and overturn Pennsylvania's results. And say,
don't even say in Trump's favor. Yeah, technically, I guess it is, but really, dude, it's in the election's favor.
Yes,
this is
the
ridiculous.
Constitution,
This is ridiculous.
State and federal constitution's favor. Yeah.
And the problem is that no matter what, like I was telling you today, no matter what happens, I think we're screwed no matter what.
That's a really good point.
Because you're gonna, if Trump wins,
either way, it's an illegitimate president
crazy,
in a lot of people's minds. Half of America is going to say that's an illegitimate president,
and then the other half will say the same thing.
And you know what?
Biden, right?
You know what? This
it's
whole
like,
time,
bro,
this is exactly what the media wanted. Because the media just wants to divide because they get more ratings, more views, more money, more influence.
Yeah.
The more we're divided.
Everyone thinks that it's Trump. Everyone thinks that it's these people that are the quote unquote leaders.
Trump is the symptom, not the cause.
Make it divisive, and it's not, dude. It's your freaking Facebook profile.
Yep.
It's your freaking media.
It's big tech.
It's not.
Big media.
It's what you're consumed by. And if you're not literally consumed, quote unquote, by Trump, so you're like following his footsteps everywhere, you're consumed by Twitter, Facebook, and freaking media. Maybe it's about Trump, maybe it's about Biden, but either way, you're consumed by it. And that's where you end up. You end up in a divided country.
Yeah.
So going on to this freaking badass article he found.
So this is an article I got from Real Clear Politics, and
the link from Real Clear went here.
Yeah.
And what is the place called again? It does like newsletters or something.
This is Substack.
And
it's independent contributors essentially.
And so they can make their own profile essentially or whatever,
Yep.
and they have their own quote unquote newsletter using Substack's stuff for free.
So
it becomes anonymous, basically.
Political scientists under the pseudonym Vote Integrity went onto the page of vote pattern analysis.
So that's their profile, is Vote Integrity.
Correct.
They don't have a name or anything. You
Right.
can't follow anybody's name.
Right, exactly. This is from November 24th.
I want to stay anonymous too.
Anomalies in vote counts and their effects on election 2020. And the subtitle is A Quantitative Analysis of Decisive Vote Updates in Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and on and after election night. And they actually touch on a couple of other states that are pretty interesting. So I'm just going to read the bold print and some highlights here.
Oh, please be my guest.
So basically they're just saying there's a lot of, while this data analysis cannot on its own demonstrate fraud or systemic issues, it can point to us a statistically anomalous cases that invite further scrutiny. So while they're saying they can't prove voter fraud one way or the other, that's not their job. They're political scientists. They look at the data, they look at the voting records, and they say, this does not look like anything we've ever seen before, and this is not something that we could have predicted.
Yeah, essentially they're not partisan at all. They don't even participate in that. They're
Right.
literally just looking at this and thinking, okay, this is it. Well, just like that forensic analysts.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, I guarantee he's not a political guy. He literally gets off to this crap. He loves looking at stuff and analyzing it.
He's a data
figuring out the
scientist.
problems, the anomalies, whatever it is.
So this is one such case. Our analysis finds that a few key vote updates, so those batches, those vote dumps, this is what they're talking about. This is what the focus of this whole article is. And it's a huge article.
Dude, this
like,
is insane,
Look at the scroll bar on the right. I mean,
that goes all the way down.
Goes
and it's all pure words, brother.
Pages.
Pure words. That's crazy.
So a few competitive states were unusually large in size and had an unusually high Biden to Trump ratio. We demonstrate the results differ enough from expected results to be cause for concern. Like, political scientists don't talk like that. They don't talk with, like, they have opinions most of the time.
With this report, we rely only on publicly available data from the New York Times to identify and analyze statistical anomalies in key states. If that doesn't tell you they're bipartisan, I don't know what would. They're using New York Times, which, whatever. How does New York Times even have actual data? I thought they'd all just, like, made up crap.
Well, they have one of the highest, they probably have the highest budget of any publication
yeah, that makes sense.
in the world.
Because they used to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s.
Well, they're still awesome in some ways. Like,
looking at almost 9,000 individual votes.
So, yeah, okay. So,
holy crap.
Yeah. This is not individual votes. This is individual vote updates. This is batches that came in.
Oh.
9,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. That's
Updates?
how much data they analyzed.
Holy crap.
Yes. They analyzed a lot of data.
What kind of AI are they using, dude?
They aren't using AI. They're using algorithms.
Well, that's not. So what I mean by
R.
Yeah,
R is a program that political scientists use. Very popular. And it's a program that they use to run these algorithms to.
So it's like a trading bot, but it's not for trading.
It's not a bot. There's no AI involved whatsoever.
Not at all.
No, not even a little bit. It's a program. It's input and output. There is no manipulation whatsoever.
Oh shoot, dude!
It's
wow.
It's a plug. It's an equation. That's all it is. I don't want to misconstrue. Yes.
No, because you're saying if it was AI, it could be manipulated. It could be wrong.
It could be manipulated.
If it's literally just an Excel freaking spreadsheet telling you input, output, done.
Yep.
And that makes sense.
That's
There's
basically
one
what this
formula to rule them all.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
So
that's crazy, dude.
In particular, we were able to quantify the extent of compliance with this property and discover that of the 8,954 vote updates used in the analysis, these 4 decisive updates were in the 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 7th most anomalous updates in the entire data set.
Oh crap!
So they saw they looked at all this data and said that there's top 10,
big.
4 of them are in these states.
Holy crap, dude!
That it's kind of weird that Biden won.
Dude, here we go, man. These 4, man. Let's hit it. An update in Michigan.
So not only does each of these updates not follow the generally observed pattern, but the anomalous behavior of these updates is particularly extreme. And extreme is a very rare word to use as a political scientist. You just don't say stuff like that. You say it's an outlier. It's exaggerated. You don't say extreme. Like, that's a very rare thing. And even outliers is like you flip a coin 1,000 times and it lands on its side type of thing. So that is to say, these vote updates are outliers of the outliers. They are extreme.
Oh my gosh,
They're
dude.
so rare that it's improbable and implausible. The 4 vote updates in question are, of course, in Michigan at 6:31 Eastern Time, November 4, 2020, shows that 141,000 votes for Joe Biden and 5,968 for Donald Trump.
Let
me repeat that slower. 141,258 for Joe Biden and 5,968 for Donald Trump in one
update, dude.
Update.
One update in 1 minute. In 2 minutes time frame, whatever it is for an update.
And they're saying it's mail-in ballots. Now, that's the thing. If that could be the election result, but the fact that it all happened at once is what they're saying is implausible.
That's insane, man.
If it happened 10 different vote updates and kind of crept up, that would make a lot more sense, but still.
I thought it's literally like in mathematics, or maybe not even mathematics, but I thought it was like kind of impossible to have this type of thing go not in a curve, like on a graph.
Mm-hmm.
Almost everything I thought follows a curve. I thought that was like a theory we had.
Yeah.
Well,
it is. It does. It should.
Everything.
An update in Wisconsin listed at 3:42. So look at the times too. 6:31 a.m. after the election day, so everyone stayed up late. No one's really paying that much attention. 3:42 a.m. is the one that Trump likes to mention a lot. Central Time, November 4, 2020, shows 143,379 for Joe Biden and 25,000 for Donald Trump. Yeah. A vote in Georgia listed at 1:34 a.m. Eastern Time, November 4th, which shows 136,000 for Biden and 29,000 for Trump.
This is crazy, dude.
A Michigan update.
Another Michigan update.
Yep. 2 of them were in Michigan because they needed Michigan. At 3:50 a.m. Eastern Time on November 4th, shows 54,497 for Joe Biden and 4,718 for Donald Trump.
Wow.
This report predicts that the vote updates would have looked like, and if they followed the same pattern as the vast majority. So this is 4 of nearly 9,000, and they're saying that more than a margin of victory in all 3 states. So we find that the extents of the respective anomalies here are more than the margin of victory in all. So Joe Biden needed these 4 particular dumps, just these 4, to be the president of the United States.
Why did they not? They are idiots. Why did they not choose 950 updates to progressively make it this way?
Because, so here's what happened.
You would not, how would you, That's what I'm saying.
Because if they
so sloppy,
did that, it would. Here's what happened. If they did that, it would have taken more time, more days, and it would look even more fraudulent than it was. This looks like, oh, we just got these mail-in ballots and now we're counting them.
Dang, dude.
But the thing is, which collectively represent 42 electoral votes. The thing is, if they do it all early morning of the next day after the election, people wake up and go, oh, wow, I guess they were still counting last night, even though they said they had stopped counting, and they were supposed to stop counting. And then, I forgot where I was. I lost my
Sorry, dude. We were on the point where he's like Michigan, and we were talking about the fact that he didn't go progressively, over 900. He went over 4 only. You said obviously it's because they couldn't do it like that because it'd take longer. Obviously, it'd be more fraudulent.
So,
I get that. And then here's where you end up.
Yeah, but if you do those, okay. So here's where I was. So if these vote tabulators looked and said the data analysis that we're working to basically ruin the election, we're saying, okay, look, Joe Biden needs this many votes to win. Trump is gonna go up by this much.
Yeah,
we've got to just dump them all like right now and say, okay, Joe Biden took the lead and he's gonna maintain the lead.
Dang, dude.
So they had to do it all at once because if they took the time and did it, it would have looked even more fraudulent, which turns out this article is kind of refuting. And then if they didn't do it early, then Donald Trump would have just stayed ahead and been ahead.
I don't understand. Holy crap!
And if they did it at the very end of counting,
it's insane, man.
It would have made more sense if they did it at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
But the timing is just highly suspect.
I don't
so here it is. Here's the timing. Here's the graph. Here's the famous graph everyone's looking at.
I don't get it.
So you can see just Joe Biden is just trailing the entire night. Here's a vote dump early, or vote count early. And this is so this is the time. So the date, the month is 11. The day is the 3rd. So they start counting some votes super early. And here's the date of the 4th, all through the rest. And this is the time. So midnight 4, this is where they're at. Because some states count, oh sorry, this is the 3rd, so this is election day here.
Yeah,
and
but
this is in-person voting. These jumps is in-person voting,
so
that's all normal.
The jumps. Okay, I was going to say, what about these jumps?
These jumps over here?
No. The jump on the left where you're at.
Yeah.
So those are in person. That's why it's doing that.
That's in person.
Because I'm telling you, the one on Biden looks about the same length as the one up here that everyone's freaking out about.
This jump right here is California, most likely.
Well, what is that?
The West Coast.
Okay.
Oregon.
I guess it just looks like someone
California.
fell asleep and then was like, "Oh shoot, we need to do an update."
That's what it looks like. But really, what happened was, Joe Biden is losing by millions and millions of votes. We've got to change it. This is just in Michigan, by the way. Sorry, this is just in Michigan. So yeah, this is in-person voting in the different cities, different areas.
I guess. Interesting. Wow.
So they keep counting, and then there's this magic vote dump right here, and everything else on the graph looks really pretty much the same. But Joe Biden needed this particular vote dump mentioned right up here.
I guess it is the first one or the last one.
So there's this vote dump and then there's this vote dump. The first one wasn't enough. It was like, oh crap, that one wasn't enough to win the election, so we got to do another one. Look, it's
oh yeah. The first one was up there, and then the second one was down there.
6:31 a.m. November 4th
versus 3:50 a.m.
versus 3:50.
Okay, so go back down to the graph. So where we at on the time frame here? Oh, it does EST.
So this is probably
Eastern time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is that first vote dump most likely, and then the second one, and then that was enough.
That's like that time is weird though, dude. That time is like off.
6.
Is it what is 11? It's not 11. It was never 11 o'clock.
No. 600 hours.
Oh.
900, 1200, 1500.
Thank you for clarifying that. I had no idea what I was reading, dude.
Yeah.
It says it right there. Month, date, and hour. Yeah. My bad. Okay.
It's small.
I'm sorry. It is correct.
It's kind of a weird graph.
That graph is correct.
So this is Michigan.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. This is Wisconsin. So even more crazy result in Wisconsin. This huge spike.
Why would they?
And this is the next day at 3 a.m.
How do they get away with this crap, dude?
Yeah, this is... Why would they be counting mail-in ballots at that time? Wouldn't you count those first?
Look, all I'm saying is, okay, obviously we've all been over this. We all see this. But, you know, I just don't get why. Why? I don't understand it. They really want Biden that much?
They don't want Biden. They want control.
What are they really going to
Biden,
do? Right, but they want control so badly. What are they really going to do?
Exactly.
Like, no one really knows.
Oh, I know.
Well, we think that maybe I don't know. I just don't know how crazy they're going to be allowed to go. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, think about it. Even if Biden won, let's just, whatever. Biden won, and it's hilarious we're talking like it's before the election. Literally, we're like after the election, still talking who the hell won.
Almost a month.
Yeah, if he won, we still have like the House, right? Republicans. No. Sorry, guys.
Democrats control the House,
and then Democrats control the Senate. No.
Right now the Senate. So right now the Senate is 50 Republicans, 48 Democrats.
I thought they were going to lose the House.
And 2 special elections. No, they lost a lot of seats in the House.
Okay.
Fox News said that they were going to retain the House and pick up 5 seats. On election night.
Democrat was going to retain and gain
and pick up 5 seats,
and they didn't. They lost 43 seats or some crap.
No,
it
wasn't that many. It was I want to say 15 flipped.
Oh, sorry, 15.
But their margin was like 30.
Okay, so
now their margin's like 15.
Right.
I don't know exactly houses. It's.
But my point in saying, I guess so. So I guess with the House they could do a lot. I mean,
if Republicans,
you know what I mean?
So there's 50 Republican senators and 48 Democrats in 2 special elections in Georgia because no candidate got more than 50% of the vote. Yeah, the runoffs. Those are going to be decided in January, early January, and if Democrats win one of those, Republicans control the Senate, 51-49, very narrowly. If they win both of those and the presidency, then Kamala Harris is the tiebreaker in the Senate.
Okay.
Yeah. Gavin Newsom is about to choose Kamala Harris's replacement. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is about to choose Kamala Harris because she was a senator. Now she's going to the White House.
Okay, look, here's what I'm getting at.
I don't think it's going to happen.
After all of that, you just said, after all that crap, what are they going to do? I know that they're going to probably put us back into the freaking global whatever the heck.
Yeah, all the globalist trade deals, the Iran
deal.
What
else? What are we going to do? What else we got?
They can't do much because...
Are they actually going to take our guns away?
No way.
Okay, see, what I'm getting at is...
But
I know people think it'll be like tyranny or something.
They'll chip away at it.
For 4 years, and then guess what? We do the exact same thing we always freaking do. Americans are so, we're predictable.
But the thing is, if Joe Biden is installed as president, to use Chuck Schumer's words, if he's installed as president, then democracy totally failed. Because I truly don't think that this was a legitimate election.
Well, no, I don't think so.
After reading this,
I don't think so either. I actually believed it before that.
So I don't think Republicans will ever win another presidency.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh,
that's how important this is.
If this gets proved wrong, quote unquote, because if
Biden gets in the White House, Republican Party is done completely. I'm not exaggerating at all. I'm saying that it's going to be bad.
Crap, that's some juice right there.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really, really bad.
I don't know, man. That's crazy. Maybe we'll have another chance for libertarians. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I think.
Get rid of the party system. Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
gang.
Voting won't work
Bernie
anymore.
Sanders.
Voting won't work.
No, I know.
Because now they're just going to use USB cards and upload all the votes they need, like Venezuela does.
Yeah.
That's where they got this software.
I know. Yes, I do realize that.
Moving on.
Holy crap! I just wanted to know, really what we're losing here. If that happened,
we're losing our country completely.
Okay.
This is not to be taken lightly, at all. The election is the most important thing in our country. Period.
It's literally
our rights mean nothing if we don't have fair elections.
Right. We already don't have a full democracy. I think we would just lose democracy completely.
Well, we have a representative republic, so.
Yeah, we would just lose it. That's crazy, man.
So.
All right, back to this article. This
data analysis. Article. The basic intuition is big margins are one thing, and so are super skewed results. But it's weird to have them both at the same time. They generally become inversely related as either value increases. So what they're saying is they look at the ratio of votes. Let's say Biden won 2-1. He got twice as many votes as Trump did. But there's only 10 people in that precinct or county, so it's only oh, I don't even know. Horrible at math. Let's say there's 20 people in that county. Biden got twice as many votes. So that would be like what?
What are you getting at here? He
13.
got 50%
Looking
more.
at ratio
more.
Versus margin. So ratio would be the Trump votes over Biden votes as a fraction, as a ratio.
So 20 over 40.
Yeah. Okay, that's a better way to put it. Let's say this. Yeah, there's 60 people in that.
In
the voting universe.
Boom.
40 go to Biden, 20 go to Trump.
Boom.
That's 2-1 Biden Trump.
Correct.
But the margin's still 20.
Okay.
So they're saying you can have a high margin.
Yeah.
If the ratio is like close to 1-1.
Oh,
like if the margin's 100,000, but there's 1 million votes.
Correct.
That's a high margin, but it's also
right.
It's also fairly equitable as far as the ratio goes. So, but they're saying if the ratio is high, and the margin's high, like these vote dumps, like 140,000 to 5,000.
Yeah.
That's not plausible.
Interesting.
So that's what they're looking at. We will demonstrate below that the data overwhelmingly follow this intuition, but that 4 key vote updates, the ones mentioned earlier, identified by this report, cut against this intuition.
Holy crap, dude.
So yeah, like between the candidates' margin and their ratio. So this is their math. This is literally, like I said, this is poli-sci 101. This is the first thing you learn. These equations, these ratios, logarithmic functions, pretty simple stuff.
Pretty simple.
It is. It looks complex. It's a ratio. F1, X and Y.
Oh my gosh, not for me, man.
X minus Y equals negative X negative. Or I'm getting ahead of myself. But I can't teach you.
Don't teach me this.
We're
you don't
going
have to,
way too deep.
You're not gonna teach me that, man. I just talk.
But this is so, like I said, this is like breaking it down step by step, little by little, how they did their equations. Like I said, they're equations. It's not AI. It's not bots. It's not any of that. It's plug in, you get a result. That's it. Really simple.
Holy crap, dude. Yeah, that's crazy.
Ratios demonstrate an important property. The farther ahead the candidate is, the harder it is to move the next 1% ahead. Ratios allow us to spot potential sign of fraud. Unusually low ratios between the losing major candidate and the other less well-known candidates.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So, because those who watch participate in elections tend not to think in these terms, if there is a fraud, they're much less likely to have covered their tracks in this respect. A tin-pot dictator style, so this is important, a tin-pot dictator style election where the favored candidate gets 99% of the vote is obviously suspect. But less attention is often paid to details like whether the ratio between the most popular losing candidate and long-shot third-party candidates actually makes sense. And they footnote all of this.
So So we're going to talk about the freaking other candidates then? Because I want to know about that.
What they're saying is looking at metrics which are less popular in practical use will be tremendously helpful here, as we will see. Let's see.
By the way, guys, like, share, subscribe while he's looking up some stuff. This article's long. I get it. This is like a deep dive. This is freaking toasty. We need to get this out there. So I appreciate you guys listening in and tuning in or whatever. But if you want to make your own podcast, go to Blueberry. This is my ad, obviously. Blueberry.com makes it easy to podcast. They are the podcast host. Let's continue.
Okay, so this highlighted paragraph is one that really hit me. The election represents an extraordinary and This election represents an extraordinary and unique opportunity for election integrity and analysts in the application of statistical fraud detection research. It is likely the first national election in American history, at the very least, where the general public has had access to time series election data. Even well-respected academic papers which study election fraud in other countries seem to mostly study after the fact information about final tallies. Analysis is done on statistics about voter turnout, digit frequencies, and other information which is available after the fact. So we got all of our information real time, which is what makes the huge difference in studying this
So because we don't
election.
use paper only, that's the reason we were able to get
because
it
we
real
don't
time,
count the votes a week later.
Right.
We count them as they come in. After all, if reports of widespread fraud and corruption are ordered from the top in elections, e.g. Russia, Uganda, Ukraine, are
is that rule? Is that a rule in our
What?
Constitution? Do we have to count them as they come in?
It's up to the states.
It's up to the states?
Yeah, most likely they are counted as they come in. Now, some states count before election day. But Florida counted every single vote on election day, had no cases, very few, if any, cases of fraud, and they had tons of mail-in ballots. There's, third, fourth biggest state in the union.
Well, that's good to know. I was going to ask
and they
if
nailed
there's a comparison. Because
same with Texas. But guess what? Neither one of those used Dominion voting systems.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if these elections
Jeez,
in these countries are to be believed, then those governments which tend to have much more control over what can and cannot be published than our government are unlikely to want to increase the number of dimensions along which their claim of legitimacy can be audited. In other words, they won't look at data in real time. They'll look at it later. So this is a scatter plot, and a scatter plot is
he's like gearing up for it.
Yeah.
This is a scatter plot, guys.
With the
All
numerical margins as the x-axis and the log ratios as the y. So it's basically the margin difference, the number of votes, Trump minus Biden, or Biden, I think it's Biden minus Trump, are on the I believe the bottom is the x-axis. It's been a while. Yes. So the x-axis, which is down here, and the y-axis, which is up here. This is just the number of votes, the difference. So it's the number of Biden votes and the number of Trump votes in each update. So it's Biden minus Trump. So if Trump wins, it's going to be down here on the left.
And
zeros
then
here.
so the ratio you were talking about earlier, this is where that comes in.
Yes.
So
this is the ratio of
right. That's
votes.
interesting.
It should all be close to zero. All this is normal. Biden won this area. Trump won this area. Now, if one is close to zero like this, but the ratio is off like that, that's normal. That's okay. If this one's way over here, or this one's way over here, but it's still close to zero here, like they are, that's normal. That's what they're saying. That's like if there's 5,000 people in a county or in a precinct, and 1,000 vote for Trump and 4,000 vote for Biden, then that's fairly normal.
Yeah,
it's only
so essentially what you're saying is
but the ratio is way off.
As long as there's zero somewhere on the plane, Y or X, they're okay. But if
they should all be somewhat around here along the
interesting
this line. Now, look at that freaking dot way the hell out there.
Yeah,
that's what they're talking about. That's that vote dump. Notice that it's far away from zero.
This is still just Michigan.
Yes, this is just Michigan. And over 125,000 vote difference.
Michigan hard. Holy crap.
Same with this. This is the other vote dump.
I feel
you see
sorry
how
for
far
Michigan.
away it is? It should be here, or somewhere around here.
Speaking of all this stuff, I didn't know that you could actually keep track of your vote. I don't know if it's only in Georgia, but you can see
most
what
states
your
have
vote
that.
did,
Mm-hmm.
and they will literally show you if your vote didn't count.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's happening.
If you made
and you
a
can
mistake.
literally look it up, and they can say your vote
And
didn't count.
another thing that Rudy Giuliani and the Trump team are looking at, Trump campaign legal team are looking at is, in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and what's the other big city?
Here we go.
What's the other big city?
Michigan? Only in
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Shoot, I don't know.
Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Those two cities basically were allowed to cure their ballots. Like if the voter made a mistake and needed to change something, they'd be like,
they give
okay,
you time.
well,
They
here
give you time
go.
to say, here you go, right?
Yeah. In Republican districts, they were not given that opportunity. So that's why that's part of that 600,000+ votes that were not done correctly. So the Giuliani is going after more than one thing.
Wait,
He's
so
more than just
why
the
did the
signatures.
Republicans not let him do it?
Because they didn't know that they were allowed to.
Oh.
Democrats have a much better ground game than Republicans.
Oh, you're strictly saying if they were Republican, they did not fix their vote.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I thought
they're
you
like,
meant they
well,
weren't.
this one's a little bit off. The signature doesn't look right. It's Republican. Throw it out. The Democrats would have been like, oh, it's a Democrat that's voting for Joe Biden. Let me just go find this guy and make sure he fixes his ballot so it counts.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened all across the state of Pennsylvania.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
as we can see,
Okay.
most observations follow the basic contour of our hypothesis, i.e., the more extreme an update in one respect, the less it is extreme in another. This is what I was saying. As long as it's close to zero in one way, it's fine. This guy, no.
Yeah, shoot, man, I should have brought whiskey. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. This is insane. I just taking it all in, man.
So here's that.
What is this?
Here's that in a bar graph. Frequencies of vote weighted other Trump in Michigan per update. So the number is 499 total. About 350 were all, pretty close to zero one way or the other. That update at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, way off. Okay.
That's an odd way to put the graph. I don't know if I like that. But yeah, I get it. I understand what's going on. It's just, that's weird. Okay. Cool, man. Very cool, very cool. Wow.
Yes, so, let me read this.
Look at that ratio, dude.
Yeah. I'm going to read this real quick. The oddness of the update described above pales in comparison to that of the update in the top right corner. However, that update, 135,000, that's the margin of difference. That's the difference.
Right.
3.164, that's the ratio to 1. Represents the vote update as described at the top of this report, is responsible for the extremely noticeable spike in which nearly eliminated Trump's lead in one shot. It arrived at 6:31 Eastern Time on November 4th and went 141,000 for Biden and 5,968 for Trump, representing both the largest vote margin for Biden of any of the 502 updates at 135,000, while also representing by a factor of more than 2 the largest Biden-Trump ratio at a whopping 23.67 to 1, the log of which is 3.16. As we will see when comparing with other states, by our metric, this is the single most anomalous point in the nation. This update also particularly interesting for another reason. There are 2,546 non-two-party votes. This is what they were saying earlier about the third-party candidates.
That's like almost half. So they're saying it's almost half of what Trump even had.
Exactly. Well, like, Trump has. So yeah,
that never happens.
2,500 voted for Libertarian and Green Party. I don't even know what freaking names.
Or wrote in, right? Does that count write-ins?
Yes, or Kanye.
Yeah.
While Donald Trump only has 5,968.
Write in Kanye. Anyway, yeah, I get it.
So this is a histogram of total.
I was this close, dude.
Of vote total weighted other Trump ratios.
Yeah, the way I'm seeing it now, I should have just freaking voted for Kanye.
And here's Wisconsin. Same thing. Super anomalous vote drop. These are fairly normal vote drops. This is how it should look. This one's a little bit suspect.
Can we see, like, can you look up is there a previous one? I mean, that'd be cool.
So
I always want the previous votes.
Looking at Georgia.
Dang.
I don't know. I'm sure it's out there. You do scatter plots. I did a lot of these in college. I did tons of scatter plots. Most of them don't. You would, man. They look like they'd all be right here in a line, like this.
Yeah.
That's about how most scatter plots look when you look at normal data. This, my prof would have said, "What'd you do wrong?"
Yeah.
I said, "Where'd you screw up?" Because that should not. It's an outlier of an outlier. This is an outlier. This is an outlier. That's an outlier. This is incorrect. Short survey of other states. So this is Pennsylvania, of course. These are fairly close to zero, so they're fairly normal. Close to zero, kind of off. But it's also in Trump's favor because it's in quadrant 1. Quadrant 3 should be... Actually, sorry, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, so 2. This is Minnesota. See, these are fairly close to zero. Big vote dumps for Biden, but the ratio is not that far off. So the margin's huge because they're highly populated areas. The cities, obviously, this is probably Twin Cities vote dumps, but they're close to zero, so it makes sense. Going up to Wisconsin and Michigan, even more. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like even if it's on that plane, for some reason, I don't know scatter plots that well, obviously, or this specific the axis center on there, but I just think even if it's close to zero, but way the hell out there, I still think it's off. Like, I don't know, like that, yeah, sure, it's at 1. It's almost at 1.5, probably. So that one way over there, and I think...
That's New York City, most likely.
Oh, well, okay, I guess, yeah.
So here's it with others. All the blues is all U.S. states except Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia. There's Michigan. There's Wisconsin. There's Georgia. Those are those outliers that they were talking about.
And then the other outliers you see there are what? Big cities?
These aren't outliers. They're close enough to zero to where they're not outliers. Zero's right here.
Interesting.
Zero's right here. These three, and here's that other Michigan vote dump.
Yeah. Look, if they would have just kept it close, man, kept it close to home there.
They couldn't. They couldn't do that and win.
I know. You said, yeah, I know. Did they really not know that Trump was going to, like, lead? Like, I don't understand. I'm not being, like, weird here. I'm saying, like, literally, I feel like all the people that, let's just say that I'm unbiased somehow. Whoever's unbiased, doesn't matter. You look at them, they're like, I mean, I really do see, I think Trump will win.
Yeah.
Just by looking at what's going on.
Most people I asked thought that Trump would win.
Yeah, Trump will probably win.
Republicans and Democrats.
It doesn't really matter who they are. They're just like, yeah, Trump's probably going to win. So how did they not see that coming and prepare for that? If they were going to do this no matter what.
Yeah.
Then what the heck? That's why I said earlier, it's like it seems just sloppy. And that's probably someone's argument is like, oh, well, it's too sloppy to be real or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't know.
Okay. The below graph has two particularly interesting visual properties. The graph is represented two-dimensionally, but is actually three-dimensional. It's visibly much denser in the center for what appear to be something like two normal distributions, and as you move further from the origin along a positive sloping line, which is the way it should be, which runs through the origin, the lower density you can expect. The outer edges of the graph, top right and bottom left quadrants, closely resemble the shape of y equals 1 over x, which is like a normal distribution. This up here, being this far away, is not normal. It should be like, you'd be able to draw a line right here.
That's crazy, dude.
And that would be the average.
Yeah.
This skews everything, like the election. Quantifying the extremity. So, yeah, those are those vote drops we're talking about. That's how, when you, when you plot them.
This is just like, I feel like it is a lot of the same information, but yeah, I'm cool with it. It's literally, you know what it is? It's the same information we've heard, face value, taken down to like why it is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's like these guys are researching this information, showing you how it's proven. Because we hear Sidney Powell get out and be like, there's anomalies in the election, whatever.
Yeah, and Trump won by millions of votes.
And you would never know. But then you have this, and everyone's seen the chart, the curve or whatever. Yep. Everyone's like, that can't be accurate. No one has proof to why it can't be accurate.
Exactly.
This is why it can't be accurate.
Exactly. This explains
it's math behind
how
why
anomalous
it can't be
these
accurate.
Results really are. So here's the graph. Here's the top.
My only question for you guys is what I'm going to do probably after this is look into past elections. If there's any charts or whatever on that, that'd be dope. I don't know if there are. I don't know if people have looked that closely because this election has been super scrutinized.
The biggest difference is the mail-in ballots.
Yeah, and some people might attribute that to literally being just, we started mailing ballots and this is the difference in numbers.
Exactly, but the thing that the Trump legal team is arguing is those mail-in ballots are illegal. They're not legitimate ballots.
They're unconstitutional.
Not only that,
they're the wrong, but they're even wrong from the beginning.
They're just fraudulent.
They're fraudulent from just being a mail-in ballot.
There's no way to track them down.
Okay.
So, a quick dive into these 10 points reveals data which, by the point in the report, will be very familiar to the reader. Right?
Same points. Here's the dumps. We see the 4 that are main. There's the 4 that are main highlighted
Michigan,
for you.
Wisconsin.
Bam.
Maine.
Bam.
Georgia.
Bam.
Massachusetts, Virginia, which they might look into.
There's an anomaly score. Is that what that is? Is an anomaly score?
What are you looking at?
Like the 2 DPS thing. It's like an anomaly score. Like what's the most anomalous? I can't say the word. Sorry.
Anomalous. Yeah.
That's literally what that is. That's crazy.
4 of the 7 most anomalous vote updates, which is to say updates in which the margin and ratio are co-extreme, meaning they're both unusual, in election critical states, occurred during the same 5-hour period where the circumstances on the ground were and remain contested and highly suspicious. It is worth noting here that roughly 15% of the vote updates in the data set of 8,954
were from these
updates
states.
Were from these states.
Wow.
And this is a prediction graph. And here's just another. So the 99.5 percentile of co-extremity is right here. So they're way beyond the chances. So basically, the chances of this happening.
Yeah, I know,
are
but
like less
the problem
than half
is
of a
they're putting it
percent.
with everything else, and you can see that there's other ones there.
Well, okay, this is a lot denser than it looks. Like they said, it's 3-dimensional. This is a lot denser than it looks, and this is kind of rare. This is probably where most of the mail-in ballots would end up, right? And you see a lot of Michigan and Wisconsin, a little bit of Georgia here and there, but these three especially are just unreal. And then there's this one, which is, very suspect as well. And I want to know where these came from. I think
that's what I would like to know too.
They're these up there.
Maine,
look
at that. Maine, Massachusetts, Virginia, New York, Georgia.
And you think about, Maine actually kind of makes sense. One,
LA.
It's not that many votes. Two, Maine is super duper liberal.
Yeah.
And three, there's a lot of remote places in Maine where mail-in ballots actually make a lot of sense. Massachusetts, same, highly liberal. Virginia, Washington D.C. establishment lives in Virginia, pretty, and then there's New York, and then Georgia again, and then Louisiana, which has a lot of corruption issues in Baton Rouge especially. So
wowzers, dude, that makes sense. That clarified a lot for me.
Yeah,
just doing that right there. Obviously, they're from other states because there's freaking other states that had it too. Conclusion. Oh, dude, I got this. We're not gonna do it. Okay.
What? Ooh, yeah, you got it. You gonna read that?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna say the same thing we've already seen.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. In particular, the finding that the broader data follows general patterns and our ability to measure just how much any individual vote update does or doesn't follow this pattern allow us to make concrete claims about both how extreme any given vote update is and about what any particular vote update might have looked like had it been less extreme on one axis or another. I guess I understand. He would have had 42 fewer electoral votes, putting Biden below the number required to win the presidency. Either way, it is indisputable that this margin.
Look at this part. We further find that these updates were only more extreme than 99% of all updates nationally in terms of their deviation from this generally observed pattern. That, holding all else equal, Joe Biden may very well have lost the states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia, and that he would have 42 fewer electoral votes, putting below the number required for the presidency. Either way, it is indisputable that his margin of victory in these states relies on 4 most anomalous vote updates identified by the metric developed in this report.
Yeah.
If he didn't have these vote dumps, he would have lost. These 4 vote dumps that are super anomalous, less than 1% likelihood from all the other dumps. You got Biden into the White House. Well, on the way at least. And here are all the footnotes. Store the zip folder with enough deterministically reconstruct the entirety of this report. There's the file they got all their info from. Time series data. And then natural logarithm. This is the logarithm that they use. See, e.g., this paper, an archived version is provided here should it become unavailable for any reason.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, so they're making this available.
This is serious stuff. That's why it's anonymous. They are getting this out here, man. Oh, dude, look at this. The comment from the citizen. I think you could put a nice bow on this if you looked at this binomial distributions of vote batches by states separated by vote type. This guy's a genius, probably.
Yeah.
However, you are not guaranteed to get exactly 5 heads and 10 trail. Okay, whatever. Crazy, man. This is intense. People comment on this? This is a random newsletter. A random site.
We had an FBI that actually interested in protecting the election integrity there would already be agents interviewing each individual with any connection to these reports after making them aware of the laws prescribing lying to a federal officer. How many want to risk prison to help Biden?
Yeah.
When I looked at this earlier, there was a lot less comments. There was like maybe 50 or something like that earlier in the day. So this is catching a lot of attention.
It's new, and the good thing is, it is catching. How did you? Real Clear Politics. Real Clear Politics obviously is going to give it a lot of attention. You know what I like about Real Clear though? They don't just give that attention. They give other random stupid articles attention too, which is good. It basically just any article they think is good or they like it, they're putting it out there. On any side, on anywhere. It doesn't matter where they're from.
So this made me smile super hard today. Carter Page sues Comey, McCabe, and FBI and others for $75 million. Boom, defamation and illegal, spying and everything.
Look, dude, I don't know, man.
Who's gonna win that?
And I know I'm just tired of this crap.
And this is so true. Facts are on our side. Time is not. If we don't get this done in 2.5 weeks, it's over. They have to certify by December 15th.
It's interesting, man. What did he say? I can't. So I almost watched the video where Trump was like, "You're just a lightweight. Don't ever talk to the president that way." And he said that, and I watched the video, and Trump was literally telling him, "You can't talk to the president that way."
Mm-hmm.
I can't. What did she say?
I didn't hear that. I tried to listen.
That's why I was like, man, I can't hear what she said, man.
I think it was a guy, but he was being very disrespectful.
Your hair is a toupee. Don't ever talk to the president that way. Like, oh man, your hair is fake. You spray tan every day.
It really is like twice a week. It's kind of excessive, but whatever.
Oh, he actually does spray tan?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
I didn't know that was real.
Why do you think he's orange? You think he's naturally orange?
Bro, I thought he was like slightly red, not really orange to me, man. I thought he
And he's got like the super light
dude,
parts under his eyes
straight up had
like
no
the
idea. This is hilarious.
Oh, dude, he's spray. Yeah, dude. I can't. I just don't want to picture Trump like half naked, like in a spray tan booth. Like, do it. Just spray tan me.
Just spray tan.
It's gonna be wonderful.
It's gonna be
great
tremendous.
spray tan.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. This is gonna be the best spray tan. Spray tan you've ever had.
Okay.
I'm not even good at that. Wow, guys, this is amazing. That was a deep dive into that article that we just hit. Go check it out if you want to on realclearpolitics.com.
My brain is mashed potatoes now.
I'm going to try to put it in the show notes if I can. I'm going to try to do a link. I'm going to try to do quickly. But you know what happens in show notes is the links just get screwed. So if you want more of that, please just visit our website, toastypodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
Like, share, subscribe this video, of course, and follow us on Spotify. That's where I like it best. We also are on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or whatever, and everything else. And stay tuned for more, because honestly, we're about to hit the grind. I'm about to get back on it. I want to be on this once a week or more, so stay toasty.
Stay toasty.
Toasty.